I will be explaining what's called platform framing. Once all the foundation's in, you begin by building a platform for the first floor. The first lumber to go on top of the foundation is called the sill plate or the mud plate. For us, this is going to be a 2x6 made of pressure-treated wood so that it won't decay if it absorbs any moisture from the concrete. Now we have to drill holes in it for the anchor bolts. We use a combination square to transfer the position of the bolts onto the wood, and we measure to mark the distance in from the edge of the foundation for each bolt. The bolts are 1/2 inch in diameter. We use a 5/8 inch drill bit, which will give us a little room to position the plate accurately.
Before we install the sill plate, we roll out a fiberglass sill sealer. This will seal up any gaps between the concrete of the foundation and the wooden plate. We use washers, nuts, and a wrench with a deep socket to tighten the sill plates down, and we toenail the plates together at the corners. Depending on your local building codes, you'll need anchor bolts every 6 or 8 feet along the sill and within 12 inches of the end of any piece. Your foundation contractor should already know what's required in your area. The framing pieces that provide the structural support for a floor are called joists. The joists that run along the perimeter are the rim joists. You can use regular lumber for your joists like 2x10s, but more and more builders are using engineered products like these wooden I-beams. Your architect, lumberyard, or building department will be able to help you figure out what size lumber or engineered joist and what spacing you need given your spans and weight loads. The beams get toe-nailed into the sill plate with 8-penny cement-coated nails. They also get nailed to each other at the corners. Before we install the interior joists, we have to mark the spacing for them. The center of the first joist goes 16 inches from the outside edge of the first rim joist. After that, the rest of the joists go 16 inches center to center. This is so that the first sheet of subfloor, which will be 8 feet long, will run from the outside of the framing to the middle of the floor joist.
To make your framing go faster, you might want to get a pneumatic nailer and a compressor to run it. In our area, you can run a basic outfit for about $120 a week. I'll make sure you get complete instructions for using it.
Well, once your joists are in place, you'll probably have to put some blocking between them to keep them from twisting and to stiffen up the whole floor system. You can use solid blocking, as we've done here, or cross bridging.
The bridging pieces are 1x3s, specially cut to fit diagonally between the joists. 2 go in between each pair of joists on either side of the chalk line guide, forming a cross. One end nails to the top of the joist and the other to the bottom of its neighbor. We just nail the tops in now. We'll nail the bottoms later when we get the full weight of the addition on these joists.
Let's learn about the next step in framing, installing the subfloor.
About all set there?
Yep, ready.
Okay, throw this up on this. Now we're using 3/4 inch oriented strand board. It has a tongue and groove in it, and we're attaching it to the decking using construction adhesive and nails. Now watch out for your fingers there, all right?
Okay, let's put this down first.
Okay, that side?
Yeah.
All right.
Then I'll grab this. You ready?
Yep, I'm dry.
With tongue and groove subfloor, you may need to beat the sheet snugly into place. Do this on the groove side and use a scrap piece of wood to protect the edge of the sheet. When you put down the subfloor, you should straighten out any bows in the joists. The way to do this is to measure out the joist spacing on the sheets of subfloor, the same way we did along the rim joists. Then line the joists up to these marks before we nail them down. To start, we only nail the subfloor down along the edges, but once we're done, we come back and snap chalk lines over the joists. This makes it real easy to run along the lines with a power nailer and secure the sheets in the middle. These are 8-penny cement-coated nails, and they go every 4 inches.